On a paradise island in the Indian Ocean, the cult of the goddess Kali is growing. Hindu Tamils in Sri Lanka are turning to Kali as a result of their experience of a long, bloody and brutal civil war.
Our problem started in 1990 when my husband disappeared. Then last year my brother was arrested.
This is Shanti, one of an increasing number of the goddess's devotees. She has vowed to walk the fire of Kali in the hope that the goddess will help her find her missing husband and her brother. Sri Lanka, once known as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean, has for nearly 15 years been torn by civil strife. Sri Lanka's diverse communities have been devastated by a war in which ethnic and religious differences have provoked atrocities on all sides. More than 50,000 people have already been killed, many of them civilians. Buddhists kill Hindus, Hindus kill Muslims. But except for the most outrageous massacres, the 15-year conflict has been more or less ignored by the Western media.
Blood was flowing like a river so that I couldn't enter the mosque. I saw that with my own eyes.
We came to the mosque to worship God. We did not come to wage war. If the innocent are killed like animals, it's meaningless.
He kicked the door. One of the Muslim boys said, "It's not safe here for the children. You stay here." Then I became unconscious. Now I've only got these 4 children.
I gave birth to this one and only child, whose face is like a fresh flower. I'm dying to see the child who left me on that day. My stomach is burning like fire.
Observing the competing religions is Father Miller, a Jesuit priest who has lived in Sri Lanka for 50 years. He's pursued many of these cases.
Defense Ministry sent us a letter, final letter, saying that we have arrested that day from the camp in this unfortunate incident 32 people out of the list of 184 that had been taken. 32 people they admitted to arresting, and all were released within 24 hours after questioning. We went to all of those homes. And even today, none of them, 5 years later, none of them have been seen. All of those people from the camp disappeared without a trace. They were taken by the army in the presence of 45,000 people. I don't know how to answer a thing of that sort.
Father Miller has been collecting these tragic stories for the last 7 years.
Right now, I worked my way backwards. And this month, the one I'm putting in right now, is the first month when it started in June 1990. And I didn't realize how many of them really will never be seen again. And I was looking at the cards, and that's the way they go. This one right here on top was dead. This one's dead. Missing, missing, dead, dead, missing, 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 dead, 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 missing. It goes on like that.
The eastern province of the island has been virtually cut off from the rest of the country since the civil war began. The majority of Sri Lanka's population are ethnic Sinhalese, but the north and east of the island are mainly inhabited by Tamils. The town of Batticaloa is now held by the Sinhalese government forces. But it's an island of Sinhalese control in a sea of Tamils. The Sinhalese government forces are mainly Buddhist, and the Tamils are Hindu. Religious differences between them compound the conflict. For many Tamils in Batticaloa, the government forces are a heathen occupying force. While Batticaloa is held by government forces, the surrounding countryside is in the hands of the LTTE, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, known as the Tamil Tigers. They are a guerrilla separatist movement, fighting for recognition of an independent homeland, which they call Eelam. If the government forces move against the Tamil Tigers, the villagers here will have nowhere to run. Since 1991, an American anthropologist, Pat Lawrence, has befriended Shanti while living and working with the villagers in this area.
When I came and moved in with a cluster of households and women who were very closely related, within the first week we found ourselves on the floor dodging bullets almost every night. If you ask the people how long it's going to go on for, they'll look at the nearest small child and they'll say they hope for that child an experience of peace will be possible.
Pat Lawrence and Father Miller are more or less impotent observers of this brutal civil war.
Quite a long time ago, when I first came here, this was a totally different place. Of course, everything was totally green, and that was in 1978. Shortly after that, the war started. And ever since then, it has been one form of destruction after another. But the peace was there. The way their occupation was described to me by one of the superintendent of police was that flying just above the water. Doesn't want them to shoot at it. They occupy only the arteries of traffic. They occupy the roads, and they realize that they cannot dominate the whole area. So one of the SPs told us one time that, it's a lovely background, huh? Yeah. The SP told us one time that we believe that we control the roads within 50 or 100 yards of the main roads. Beyond that, we don't know.
Despite the length of this conflict, the villagers here have been virtually ignored by the rest of the world.
The women were very eager to pour stories over me. They really wanted to tell what they were experiencing. They felt that the outside world perhaps didn't care about the suffering they were enduring.
Shanti lives in a village near Batticaloa with her mother, her father, and her sister-in-law. When she lost her husband and her brother, she lost the breadwinners of the family. But she believes that the goddess Kali will help her.
I should stand on my own 2 feet. The grace I ask from Kali is this: I must get a job. Only then can I look after my family and my child. I can't be a burden to my father anymore. Poor father, he's sick. I made a vow. If I get a job, I'll give whatever I can afford to Kali.
One of numerous Hindu deities, Kali can be a cruel and wrathful goddess, but she is said to help in times of trouble. The cult of Kali worship has taken hold in eastern Sri Lanka, as Tamils, like Shanti, turn to her to protect them from the sufferings of war.
From childhood, we used to sweep and clean the temple and worship her. Unconsciously, our devotion grew. Our parents were also devotees. Kali guards us during troubles. So far, during the troubled times, no one has been shot here by the military.
Shanti's mother, too, puts her faith in Kali. Kumutha is Shanti's sister-in-law. She married Shanti's brother, Sri Karan, in 1990. In 1995, Sri Karan was arrested by the army.
Why was your husband arrested?
He'd been arrested before on someone's information. Later, they released him. They said there was a small investigation and that when they'd finished, they'd let him go.
I told my son there was no reason to be afraid. We took him there, surrendered him, and then they beat him seriously.
But he'd tell us he'd been beaten.
If he gets out, by the mercy of Kali, both father and son will fulfill their vow.
Ordinary Tamil families have been devastated by Tigers' struggle for a homeland that's carried their name. They have nowhere to turn.
People bring every kind of problem to Kali in this region. They believe that she has a very immediate response when they're in difficulty. They seek her assistance when their lives are threatened. They seek her protection.
In her quest to find her missing husband and her brother, Shanti decides to visit a famous local oracle to seek her help in discovering their fate. Sotimala is an important woman within the cult of Kali. Part priestess, part healer, part fortune teller, she claims to be able, through possession by the goddess, to see the unseen. Sotimala calls upon the goddess to take possession of her body. People from all over the Tamil community come to hear their fortunes and to seek her healing powers.
My first child died at the age of 8. My husband left me for 5 years, so I didn't know that the child was dead. Then my husband came back to me, and that morning I started to soothsay. Kali has taken the sacrifice and blessed me with soothsaying.
Shanti is convinced that Sothimala can help her.
Satyam, Amen Menani. Rohar, Makarohara, Isvarikarohara, Rasaktika Utamikarohara, Apanakarohara. Satyam, Amen Menani, Viramahadi Menani, Punajora Tame Menani, Patamatikne, Otamatikne, Mudelagitarman. Satyam, Kali Melan. Da. Kalatare. Kalatare. எங்க இருக்கிற எங்க நிறைஞ்ச நீங்க கடத்துறை கடத்துறை எத்தனையாம் தேதி பிறந்த எதிர்பார பிரச்சனை ஈடுபட்ட சௌரமாரு இந்த முறை மாத சங்கத்தில் பெண்களோட சேர்ந்து பானக்கச்சட்டியோட வச்சு உதவி செய்யும் மெட்டால் வாங்கணும்.
Sothimala has told Shanti that her brother and husband are being held at Kalatura, a notorious prison near Colombo. She said that Kali will have them released if she makes a sacrifice. Shanti has vowed to walk the fire of Kali at the annual festival in Batticaloa. Shanti sets off to the festival at Batticaloa to fulfill her vow to Kali, and in the hope of finding the truth about her husband and her brother. To avoid bringing unwanted attention to her, Pat Lawrence will follow a few miles behind. On the way, a Tamil tiger memorial passes, honouring the death of a fallen Tamil hero. As a martyr to the cause, his death is celebrated.
Lieutenant Colonel Vijaykanth, Batticaloa District Commander. எதிர்பார்ப்பு ஏற்பட்ட நேரடி மோதலில் வீரச்சாவடைந்தார்.
பெரிய உபகாரம்.
நன்றி மெத்தனையோ வாரம் நீங்கள் எடுத்தது.
In the early 1990s, this area of Sri Lanka was the scene of intense fighting between the Sinhalese army and the Tamil Tigers. 80% of the population was displaced, and widespread bombing has devastated the landscape. The Tamil Tigers have in the past used young suicide bombers, so on the border between Tamil territory and the government-controlled town, security is tight. As Shanti reaches the final checkpoint, she's questioned. Shanti is taken aside to be searched and finally takes refuge in the van with Pat Lawrence.
Difficulties, difficulties. For us, it's always difficulties.
Soldiers at the checkpoints accused her repeatedly of being a tiger. That's why she's crying.
They asked me, "Are you a tiger?" I said no. They said, "Why are you too frightened to tell the truth? You are in the LTTE." Then they searched my clothes.
Kali is reputed to be a powerful but cruel goddess. Certainly she demands painful acts of devotion. Suspended by hooks in the flesh of his back and legs, this man is demonstrating his faith in Kali's power. In response to the sufferings of civil war, Hindu Tamils are making sacrifices to Kali in increasing numbers. The sacrifices take many forms, almost all of them painful. One man made a vow while being tortured by the army that he would pierce his back with hooks and thus painfully struggle to make his way to the festival if Kali would release him.
The
army arrested us, and so we made a vow. They asked me to come. I said no. Then they got a stick and they beat me for almost an hour. I cried, "Kali." They stopped and let me go. Next day, they tied my hands and tied a bag of chili powder over my head. They asked me how many months training I'd done. I said I hadn't done any. 4 of them beat me badly on the back. I cried loudly. They put chili powder on my face. After I made the vow, Kali released me. My mother went to the temple many times to pray for my release.
The painful procession continues towards the festival, but perhaps self-inflicted pain is preferable to the unpredictable brutalities of civil war.
These people are caught between the occupying security forces of the state and the insurgents. They're subject to house search at any time of the night or day. Where can they go that's safe? The temple is considered a protected space in a landscape of war.
Over the next 5 days, devotees perform rituals seeking to immerse themselves in an ever-deepening trance that will culminate in the crossing of the fire. This rice dish is traditional festival food. When the rice boils over, Kali is said to have been hot. Eating the rice is said to give strength and hope.
I believe my brother will be here at the temple next year. He will help us to do the pongal. I believe Kali will get my brother released. If you come next year, you'll see.
Salatambi is the main individual who embodies Kali at this temple in Punajoli. He has more Sakti Velimai empowerment from this particular goddess. Through this empowerment, he brings the living presence of Kali to the people, more so than any other individual at the temple. Among those who are possessed, he is the most important.
Dressed in a sari to symbolize his possession by Kali, this priest is performing a ritual healing dance known as the Cobra. For 5 years, this girl has been brought to the festival by her mother in the hope that her birth-deformed jaw will be healed. Temple trustees prepare the pit of charcoal. In the intense heat, they need to be constantly cooled. Sothimala is here, and she too will cross the fire.
If other people get the power from Kali to soothsay and then reach a happy conclusion, that's what I expect from Kali.
She is preparing to go into her trance. Sothimala also embraces painful rituals. Both she and her son have their mouths pierced by ceremonial tridents. It's said to help her focus upon Kali and to protect them both from the pain of crossing the fire. The women are bathed in water from the temple well to purify them before they walk across the burning charcoal pit. The yellow turmeric paste and the margosa leaves are symbolic ways of keeping cool. Meanwhile, Kumutha, Shanti's sister-in-law, has stayed behind in the village. She can't bring herself to attend the festival.
No, I stay here. I go to my mother's for food. I'm afraid to be alone here at night, so I sleep at my mother's. I go after lighting the lamps.
Do you go to the temple?
Yes.
Are you going this time?
I'm not going this time.
Why?
Because he's not here and I'm very sad. He's the one who usually does most of the work at the temple. Every year he's there, that's why I'm not going. All the others are there, but I'm not going.
Do you walk the fire?
Yes, I do.
How do you feel about him being away?
While the women are bathed at the temple well, the men purify themselves at the lagoon in preparation for the firewalk. This public gathering of hundreds of Tamil men is a tense time for the government forces. Before the Civil War, only 12 men walked the fire at the Batikaloa festival. In response to years of political and religious violence, that number has grown to almost 2,000 every year. The festival is reaching its climax. Walking the fire is the most powerful sacrifice demanded by Kali.
Extremes. She's the goddess of courage, but she can also be the embodiment of furious anger. When people identify with her in a profound way, it offers them a way to express their inner rage, their deepest emotion. Profound identification with Kali that you see during the fighting event is a way of coping with suffering in this region, the suffering of 15 years of civil war. When they walk over the fire, they're walking directly into her gaze.
Kali, you are everything to me. There's nothing else.
அன்புள்ளம் கொண்ட அடியார்களே, எப்பெருமாளின் இறுதி தீமிதிப்பு வைபவம் இறுதியை நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கின்றது. இந்த தீமிதிப்பு வைபவத்தை அடுத்து எப்பெருமாளின் ஆலய முன்னிலையில் அமைந்திருக்கின்ற அந்த அன்னதான சாலையில் அடியார்கள் முதுகுரை சேர்ந்த கலாமோகன் குடும்பத்தினர் நலமுடன் வாழ வேண்டுமென ஒரு ஆத்தரங்கி ஓடோடி வந்து 10 ரூபாயை கொடுத்து செல்கின்றார்.
I thought about Kali. You are everything. There's nothing else. How did it feel? I can't say it was like pebbles, but like a rough surface. I couldn't tell. I didn't think about anything else.
At the festival, Shanti did receive news of her husband from a soothsayer. But unlike Sothimala, this particular soothsayer said that her husband had left her and married a higher caste woman.
As far as my husband is concerned, I don't know if the soothsaying is true or false. We have to believe in Kali. I was asked to do certain things by Sodimala, the oracle, and I did them. She said I must help Kali and toil for her. But Kali was not able to help me because my husband already has 2 children. I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Kali tells the truth for many people, so I have to believe what she says. My husband has been deceived by his family. He told me once that he has a cousin. His family have made him forget me and married him off to that cousin.
Shanti has had to accept that her husband will not be coming back, but she still believes she can find her brother. Initially, he had been taken to the Batticaloa prison, but many of those brought here are now believed to be dead.
When I first came to do my field work in 1991, sometimes I had to walk down that road in front of the main prison, and I would see chunks of hair on the road as I walked. My friends told me that in 1990, the year before, there was a layer of hair in front of the prison gate there. They saw bodies being brought through the gate and loaded into tractor vans. Tamil boys who were detained in the prison were forced to carry out the dead, and they held them by their hair, and the hair often fell there on the road as they roughly handled the bodies. My friends said sometimes the boys who were forced to carry them were also made to get in these vans and carts with the corpses at gunpoint. And when the vehicles returned, they couldn't see those Tamil boys in them.
But Sothimala said that Srikaran was not here, but at Kalatura prison in Colombo.
You have to get my husband released.
I think he will be released soon. They didn't come and arrest him. We surrendered him. He hasn't been charged with anything. They are keeping him for nothing. So there is a chance that he'll be released soon.
Shanti and Kamutha decide to go to Colombo to seek the help of a well-known Tamil human rights lawyer who lives and works there, and who, they've been told, may be able to help them. Crossing the island into the heart of Sinhalese territory is a frightening prospect, but Kumutha and Shanti have little left to lose. The journey to Colombo will take 10 hours. They'll travel with Pat Lawrence, but they'll have to run the gauntlet of dozens of army checkpoints. Only last month, a bomb said to be planted by Tamil tigers killed 18 people in the city.
As we go into Colombo, there may be moments when Shanti and Kumutha find it difficult to be in the Sinhalese-speaking part of the island. They may be hesitant to speak in Tamil, because then it's immediately known that they're Tamil women. And they'll have to show their identity cards at the checkpoints, which will indicate that they're from the war zone.
Vinayagamurthy, the lawyer, has taken on the courageous challenge of representing thousands of Tamils detained without trial by the Sri Lankan government. He's discovered that Sri Karan is at Kalatura prison.
அடுத்த நாத்து வேற சொன்னாங்க நாளைக்கு விடுவோம் நாளைக்கு விடுவோம்னு அப்படியே மாற்றினாங்க அப்புறம் கடைசியாக சொன்னாங்க குட்டிச்சம் போயிருக்கு இவருக்கு 3 குட்டிச்சம் வந்துருக்கின்றன
நான் போகிறதுக்கு எனக்கு அவன் அடிப்பான முதல்ல அடிச்சுதானே நான் கரை ஒட்டி நிற்க போகிறேன்
நேரத்தோட பெண் வச்சு அடிச்சு காதுக்குள்ளாலே பெயும் சிகல் வாரு தண்ணியில்
முழுவ மாட்டார் முடியினாரண்டா அவங்க திரும்பி கிளம்பு கொண்டு வச்சு சொல்லி லெட்டர் கொடுத்தவங்க இந்த ஹாஸ்பிட்டலால் இவர் எனக்கு எல்லாம் எழுத்தின்னு சொல்லி மாதிரி அங்கே என்ன செய்வாங்க நான் போக மாட்டேன்னுட்டு
இது எழுத போனோம் இதில் ஆமாம் நீங்களும் போடுவோம் நீங்கள் இதை பற்றி நீங்கள் ஒரு சிதறனை பற்றி ஒரு நீங்கள் யோசிக்க வேண்டாமா விளங்குதா நீங்கள் இதில் கூடிய கதியில் ஆளை வழியாகிறது தரலாம் விளங்குதானே Kala, so far I have defended nearly at least 3,000 to 4,000 people of this category, and still I got about 1,000 pending files every week, everywhere in Colombo. We are being humiliated, intimidated. I don't know why. I think, I don't know why we are born as Tamils now, we feel. When you open your mouth and talk Tamil, you are finished in this country. That's all I can say, madam. Even for those people who are abroad, they must be very, very careful to decide to come back now. This is not the time. It'll be like sending cattle to the butcher.
The next morning, Shanti and Kamutha set off with a lawyer on the final stage of their quest, to the Kalatura prison. The prison is in the forest, some 30 miles from Colombo. Before they set off, they heard that some of the Tamil prisoners had started a hunger strike to protest their continued detention without trial. Shanti's brother, Kamutha's husband, Sri Karan, is here. He's been held without charge for the last 11 months. We were not allowed to approach the prison, but Shanti and Kamutha did see him.
Hadn't eaten for 7 days. There were circles round his eyes and I heard him groan. My brother was alone. There were another 55 people like him, so I felt a little stronger. If it was only him, then we'd be very worried. Yesterday, they said that visitors would not be allowed to see those who were on hunger strike. I think because of Vinayaga Murthy, they let us see him, and because we'd come from far away. I didn't cry because there were another 55 of them, so I felt stronger. But Kamutha cried.
He told me not to worry and said he'd be coming back soon. He asked about our son.
Justice is not always going to bring peace. Sometimes justice means fighting. Sometimes it comes only when you take extreme measures. Hope, yes, we have hope. But I don't see anything to base any actual belief on at present. What's left of my lifetime, maybe I'll see it. I hope so. This was a beautiful place before. Before the guns came.
Last month, it seems, Kali finally fulfilled her promise. After 2 years of incarceration, Sri Karan was released. He's now been reunited with his wife Kamutha and his sister Shanti.